back to Mr. Horror Global. Tonight's story comes from a salesman I know, a steady, middle-of-the-pack car dealer named Daniel, who took a referral from an old classmate for one easy sale and learned far too late what he'd really walked into. Viewer discretion advised. The Laundryman. Let me tell you about something that happened to a guy I know. We'll call him Daniel. This was a little under 10 years ago. Back then, Daniel was 31, single, no kids, about 2 years into selling cars for one of the big brands. He wasn't a star. He was a middle-of-the-pack guy. Steady, put in the hours, never lit the world on fire. And because nobody was counting on his paycheck at the end of the month, he wasn't desperate either. He just did the job and lived his quiet little life. But here's the thing about selling cars. You can't sit in the showroom and wait for people to walk in. You have to work your contacts. You call old friends, you ask how they're doing, you remind everybody, hey, I sell cars now, come to me. Daniel did all of it. Classmates he hadn't spoken to in years, guys from grade school, he let them all know. Technically, the brand didn't love it when you offered to help people buy from other companies too, but Daniel would tell everyone the same thing. Whatever you're looking at, ask me first. So one day, an old classmate calls him. Hey, long time, how have you been? And then he says, you remember a guy named Kevin? He'd have been 2 years behind us in school. I'll call him Kevin, by the way. Though, as you'll see, the name he gave was as fake as everything else about him. Daniel doesn't remember him at all. Kevin? No. Doesn't ring a bell. Huh. Guess you two never crossed paths. Anyway, he's shopping for a car, and I thought of you right away. Good friend, right? Daniel's thrilled. A lead is a lead. He asks for the number, and the classmate says, actually, he's sitting right here with me at a cafe. Come on down. So Daniel drops everything and goes. Now he's got a small problem walking in, because he genuinely does not remember this guy, and you can't stroll up to a customer and say, I have no idea who you are. So he plays it. He spots him and goes over big and warm. Kevin, man, on the phone I wasn't sure, but seeing your face, of course. How long has it been? And Kevin has this soft, gentle, good-natured face, easy to like. He stands up, calls Daniel by the respectful term you'd use for an older schoolmate, and Daniel waves it off, tells him to knock it off and sit down. They do the how have you been thing for a bit, and then they get to business. So, I hear you're shopping for a car. Kevin pulls out his phone and shows him the model he's been eyeing, and Daniel can't believe his luck, because it's his brand, his exact brand. Kevin says his buddy mentioned Daniel sold these, so perfect. Hook me up with a good deal, throw in the service, take care of me. Daniel goes out to his car, grabs his bag, comes back with the catalog and his tablet. This was right when they were switching from paper contracts to tablets, and he walks Kevin through the trims and the options. Kevin knows exactly what he wants. Daniel checks the system, and the car's sitting at the factory. 3 units left. He tells Kevin to move fast. These go quick. Kevin steps outside, makes a call, comes back. Talk to my girlfriend. She wants a sunroof. Daniel checks. Sunroof models are rarer, none in stock. That means a wait. And here's a little inside thing about car salesmen. They hate a long wait. A salesman doesn't get paid when the contract is signed. He gets paid a month after the car is actually delivered. So a 4-month build means 5 months before Daniel sees $1, which is exactly why salesmen always steer you toward what's already on the lot. Daniel tells him the sunroof adds time, but Kevin insists. The girlfriend's got her heart set on it, and you can't strong-arm a guy who came to you as a favor. So Daniel says fine and asks for the ID. Except the car isn't even for Kevin. When Daniel asks for the ID, Kevin doesn't hand him a card. He pulls up a photo on his phone. A woman's ID. Let's call her Karen. Daniel says, "Wait, you're not the buyer?" And Kevin explains, it's a relative of his girlfriend's. They're putting the car in her name. Cash purchase, no financing. Daniel says he needs to talk to her, and Kevin just hands over the phone. Girlfriend already on the line, and she says she's busy. Put the contract in. We'll sort the rest later. Now this part matters, so let me explain it. Back then, the system still needed a photo of your ID. These days, it's all phone-based verification, and that whole step is gone. But back then, you needed the picture, and technically, you were supposed to lay the physical card on the desk and photograph the original with your own tablet. But customers didn't always have their ID on them, or a husband was buying in his wife's name. So in practice, people photographed a picture of an ID off a phone screen all the time. I'm not saying that's right, I'm saying it happened, and Daniel did it. Snapped the photo right off Kevin's screen, took down the address, entered everything. Looking back, Kevin had that photo queued up and ready, like he'd done this exact dance at other dealerships already. The deposit's a couple $100. Daniel gives the account number. Kevin makes a call. A text comes through, and Kevin says, she sent it. Daniel phones the office. Did a deposit come in under Karen's name? Yes. Confirmed. Great. Let's get that car. Everybody's smiling. Meeting over. 3 or 4 days later, Kevin calls again. That contract, Karen's car. The husband's got money and no patience. He wants to just pay the whole thing up front. That okay? It's fine. It's the company's money, not Daniel's. A few minutes later, another call. It's paid. Daniel checks, and the full price of the car is sitting there in cash under Karen's name. He's over the moon. A customer who prepays the entire vehicle? This delivery is going to be smooth as glass. And then, a few days after that, it's cancelled. The husband and wife fought. They bought a different car from another brand, already took delivery. Really sorry, refund it. Here's the account. And Daniel's stomach drops, because a salesman hearing the word cancel is like taking a slap. He offers to meet Karen in person. Kevin says no need, it's done. Just process the refund. So Daniel does. The whole car payment goes right back out the door. His boss, I'll call him Gerald, the dealer principal, older guy, runs the place, gives him grief. How are you handling your customers? Daniel says he'll follow up, doesn't really, processes it the next day. Full amount, gone. Then Kevin calls for coffee, sits Daniel down and says, this time it's not the girlfriend's family, it's his own side. Someone else wants to buy, and he feels bad about the last one, so please take extra care of me. Daniel checks the car Kevin wants, and the color and option combination is bizarre, genuinely one that shouldn't exist. He hunts around. Your buyer's got unusual taste. This color with these options can't be found, means a wait. Kevin says put it in anyway, they'll wait. Same routine. ID pulled up on the phone, a man's photo this time. Daniel asks if he can talk to the buyer, and Kevin says he can call him, but why bother? I've been given full authority on this. It's only a contract, not a delivery. So Daniel shrugs and does it. Snaps the photo, takes the deposit. A couple $100, it comes in. And this time, within 2 weeks, the full car payment lands in cash again. And then, sorry, we have to cancel. Now Daniel's genuinely annoyed. Another cancel? What brand? I'll get it for you myself. No, Kevin says. They've got an old dealer they have to buy from, so sorry, refund it fast. Today if you can, they're pushing me, give me the account. Daniel checks. The account name matches the contract name, fine. He tells the office, and now the finance people are annoyed too. Are you getting played? What is this? And Gerald pipes up. Daniel, getting the money isn't the point. How are you managing these customers? But Daniel processes the refund anyway. And that's when Gerald calls him into the office and it starts to turn. Gerald says, I got a call from regional headquarters. Look at this. Both of your deals, the first buyer and the second buyer, the deposits and the full payments came in from accounts that were not the buyers. Did you know that? And Daniel says, but the deposits came in under the buyers' names. And Gerald explains it to him. The sender can put whatever name they want on a transfer, but the company's financial system shows the real account underneath, and the real senders were other people. Different people entirely. It went through, but regional flagged it. Be careful with this. Tighten up. Daniel calls Kevin about it. Kevin plays innocent. Us? Our people all sent their own money, didn't they? What's the big deal? It's not even much money. Daniel bites his tongue and lets it go. And then Kevin, all apologies, insists on making it up to him. Shows up at Daniel's apartment one night with sashimi and a bottle, and they eat and drink, and Daniel, who'd been irritated, softens right up. They joke around, and Kevin heads home late. Good enough. Water under the bridge. A little over a month later, Kevin calls again. Another acquaintance wants to buy. And this time, Daniel plants his feet. I want to talk to the actual buyer. Kevin refuses, full authority again. Don't worry, trust me. But Daniel's not budging on much anymore, so he puts the contract in, but tells himself this one gets verified. The deposit comes. Then, a few days later, the full car payment lands in cash. Gerald calls him in. Daniel calls the buyer's number from the contract. It rings and rings. No answer. He tries an hour later. 2 hours later. Nothing. So he calls Kevin. Your buyer won't answer, and I need to process this. Here's how it goes. He comes in person, with his ID. My boss verifies him in front of me. Then, and only then, do we refund. No exceptions. Kevin gets tetchy. It's a refund to the man's own account, not a loan. Why drag him in? And Daniel finally says it out loud. You want to know something? Your buyers have never once made a deposit themselves. Not one time. It's always a third party sending the money and a third party getting it back. Are you laundering money through me? And Kevin snaps, says stop making him look bad, and hangs up. Later that afternoon, the buyer calls to say he's coming to the dealership now, but it's past the daily system cutoff, and refunds can't process after that. So Daniel says, come tomorrow, 10 in the morning. Next morning, after the staff meeting, Daniel's already told Gerald the whole thing. Around 10, a man walks in and asks for Daniel, says he's here for the refund. Daniel takes him into the consultation room, asks for ID, and it matches the contract, and the photo matches his face. Fine. Daniel had promised Gerald he'd handle the verification himself, so Daniel steps out and calls him. Gerald comes in, hands the man his card. I'm the principal here. May I ask why the change of heart? And then he looks at the ID and he asks, very casually, do you have your phone on you? Is it in your name? Yes and yes. Great, there's a computer right here. Help me log you in and we'll get your refund sorted. And this is not a thing they normally do. What Gerald pulls up is one of those identity verification pages, the kind you fill out to prove you're a real adult when you sign up for a website. He asks the carrier, types in the name, the first digits of the ID number, the phone number, and submits. And no verification text arrives. Sir, this is your phone, correct? Yes. One moment. And then Gerald, sitting right there, dials the number off the contract. It rings, and across the table, the man's phone stays completely silent. Gerald hangs up. Sir, are you the actual buyer? And the man starts stammering. Yes, of course, look at the ID. I've got several phones. I brought a different one today. And Gerald says quietly, "Could I see the ID one more time?" And the man reaches for his wallet like he's going to pull it out, and then he shoots up out of the chair, snatches everything back, and bolts out the door. Daniel moves to chase him, and Gerald grabs his arm. "Let him go. This one goes to regional, we let them handle it. From here on, you keep your wits about you," because Gerald had figured it out. Dirty money that shouldn't be moving is moving, and they've been using us to move it. He reported all of it up the chain. And I'll tell you, the instinct is to call the police right that second. But the sales world is a closed little world. They don't like scandal reaching outside. And before they involve any outside authority, police included, there's internal deliberation. Do we report this or not? So it churned inside for a while regional decided. Meanwhile, Daniel calls Kevin, and Kevin's breezy as ever. "How'd it go? Who was the guy with the ID today?" The buyer, no, plays dumb about all of it. Then, out of nowhere, "Where are you right now?" "At the dealership." "Perfect. Come to such and such cafe. Bring me a few catalogs. I've got more people to refer to you." The nerve of it. And Daniel, furious, goes. Kevin's waiting at a corner table. Daniel drops the catalog envelope in front of him. "Tell me straight, are you playing me?" And Kevin acts wounded. "What game? People change their minds. What am I supposed to do? And honestly, your side's the problem. That last guy has a panic disorder, and you people cornered him." Daniel says, "This is bigger than you understand now. Regional's been notified. They're bringing in law enforcement. And a big corporation reporting fraud is a very different animal from one private citizen complaining. If they check and everything's clean, wonderful. If it isn't, you don't walk away from this either." And Kevin smiles and says, "Nothing to hide here. Shame though. I wanted to make you rich. All those referrals." And Daniel says, "A car has to actually get delivered before I earn a dime. You haven't delivered a single one. What are you talking about?" And that's when the mask comes off. Kevin leans in and says, "Are you so sure you're clean though? Say the first M, the bad guy. Weren't we in the same boat? Why so naive? You knew. So just come out and ask me for money. How much do you want? A few %? Why the embarrassing little act?" And his whole face has changed. The soft, kind look he wore that first day at the cafe is just gone, and his eyes are somebody else's. Daniel says, "You joking?" and stands up to leave, and Kevin grabs him. Sit down before I kill you." And Daniel, blood up, sits and says, "Talk, and if you say something stupid, I'm putting my fist through your face. Talk straight." And Kevin talks. "You think I brought sashimi to your apartment for nothing? You take this world too lightly, brother. You're not married, but you've got parents. How much can one man protect all by himself? Say the first get punished, fine. But I don't go down alone. Whoever put me away, I put in the ground. You could have kept this quiet, all of it, on your end. Instead you blew it wide open, and now you come crying to me. The order's all wrong. You were always going to sell me out." And then he says Daniel's mother's name, her full name. Let's say it was Margaret, says it plainly, like he's reading it off a card. "You think I need to spell it out for you? Your mother might have a hard time walking into her old age on 2 good legs. Your father, soon he might not see the morning sun with his own eyes. Though I'll be kind, I'll leave him his ears. And you're still young, so what should we do about you? People have no fear anymore." And then he leans his face right out over the table. "Go on, hit me. You can't, can you? Good. Sit tight and wait, or clean it up. I don't ask for much. Kevin had nothing to do with any of this. The buyer did it all himself. You never met me. Keep my name out of it." And he gets up and leaves. Daniel goes back to the showroom, and his hands are shaking. He asks Gerald where the case stands. Gerald says, "Regional decided to report it. They're writing it up now." And then Gerald stops and really looks at him. "Why the face? You walked out of here whispering, and you come back looking like you're about to cry. Are you being threatened?" Daniel starts to deflect, and Gerald takes him by both cheeks, turns his whole head to face him, and says, "Look at me. Tell me straight, from the beginning. You're not the first person this has happened to. You hear me? Talk, or you'll never get out from under it." So Daniel tells him everything. And Gerald lays out the plan, calm and hard. "You report it yourself. You move your parents somewhere safe tonight. I'll help catch him, and I'll push Regional until they take him and everyone above him, all the way to the root, so nobody just cuts off the tail and walks. Call your parents now." So Daniel calls them, tells them there's a hotel Gerald found. "Go stay a few days, please." And you know how it goes. The mother agrees, but the father digs in. "Why on earth would I go anywhere?" And Daniel is begging. And finally the mother says she'll drag him there herself. Then Daniel wants to just go home and collapse. And Gerald says, "No, you don't go home. You go to the hotel too, and you stay there until this Kevin is caught. I'll cover the room. You can pay me back a little at a time out of your commissions." So Daniel takes a room too. 2 nights in, Daniel goes out for a cigarette. He can't smoke in the room, and at his old place he'd just smoke alone inside. So out he goes. It's a downtown hotel, right in the city, and it's 1-2 in the morning, and a figure comes walking up the sidewalk toward him. And this is before the pandemic, when a grown man in a hat and a mask at that hour was a strange sight. The figure stops right beside him, pulls the mask down, puts a cigarette between his lips. "Brother, brother." And Daniel's blood turns to ice, because it's Kevin. "How did you know I'm here?" "I know everything, brother. Room 603, where your parents are. I even know where your family's grave is. You think you can go on, standing on your own 2 legs if I disappear? You cross the line. You understand what that means. I've got no attachment to you anymore. Your father never seeing the morning sun. Your mother never walking again. Your whole life caved in. You chose all of it. Don't resent me. I just wanted to say it to your face. Goodbye." And he turns to walk away. And in that exact second, Daniel remembers Gerald's words, and they land so precisely it's eerie. "Kevin will come find you. He'll say something truly terrifying to you, and when he turns to leave, if he isn't holding a weapon, you take him down." Gerald had even set it up for him. A speed dial button, 1 press, straight to Gerald. So Daniel pulls his phone, hits it, hears it start to ring, and sets the phone down on the ledge beside him. Then he steps behind Kevin and locks him up from behind. Kevin's the smaller man, and in that instant Daniel runs his hands fast over him, checking for anything sharp, because he's terrified, and there's nothing. And Kevin drives an elbow straight back into his face. Stars burst behind Daniel's eyes, but he holds on, gets a fist in Kevin's hair, and they're grappling right there on the sidewalk, and Daniel screams until his throat tears. "Help! Somebody help me! Call the police! Help!" Late as it is, someone comes out of the hotel and runs over, and of course, the second there's a witness, Kevin flips it, starts crying out that he's the victim, that he's being attacked. But the man from the hotel had seen Daniel around, staying there, so when Daniel yells, "Grab him, he's a criminal, hold him," a police car rolls up, because Gerald's signal had worked exactly as he said it would. Phone ringing at that dead hour, Gerald answered, heard no words, only shouting and struggle, hung up and called the police, because he knew precisely where Daniel was. Kevin gets taken in. But here's the ugly part. The fraud investigation hadn't reached Kevin yet, and Daniel had grabbed him from behind first, which is assault. So Kevin was only a witness, a person of interest, and the next day he walks out on his own 2 feet and gives Daniel a little smile on the way. Now watch what happens to you. Daniel goes straight to Gerald. What do we do? What about my parents? And Gerald says, wait, it's all right. I'm still working the rest of it. A few hours later, Kevin calls him. From today, you won't be able to find me. Go on, live your best life. How many days do you really think you can last in a hotel? And he hangs up. And after that, the phone's off. Daniel stays in that hotel more than 3 weeks, and Kevin is nowhere, cannot be found. Eventually, Daniel and his parents go home, and then 6 months pass. 6 months, and nothing happens. Life comes all the way back to normal. Daniel even moves to a new apartment, puts it behind him as much as he can, and then a message comes in from a number he doesn't know, his new home address, written out line by line, and underneath it, 3 words, "Don't forget me." And by this point, the case was still open. The reason the investigation dragged so long is you have to pull the whole plant out by the root, because if you just grab the stem, all you get is a fistful of leaves. And when they finally got down into it, they found what Daniel had suspected. The depositor was tied to black money, dirty money being washed clean by running it into a car dealership and pulling it back out through a third party in a refund. That's a wash, and this particular method was unusual, something they'd only just started trying. And around then, Daniel ran into the old classmate, the one who'd introduced Kevin in the first place, told him the whole nightmare, and the friend just scratched the back of his head and said, "Honestly, I didn't really remember him either. He started coming around, bought me a few meals, and out of gratitude I introduced you. I figured you were the one who remembered him." So Daniel rushed to the old school. They wouldn't tell him anything over the phone, but there was a yearbook in the library, and he tore through it, and there was a Kevin. The name was there, but the face next to it was nothing like this man, not the same person, not a classmate at all. He asked around the rest of the old crowd. Nobody remembered a Kevin. The junior they'd all been dealing with never existed. By now, Daniel's nerves are shot, panic attack level. He shakes just walking to the corner store for cigarettes after dark. And then, finally, Kevin is caught. Down south, somewhere on the coast, Daniel gets the call, and the relief just floods through him. And when the investigation lets a few things out, it turns out Daniel had been the target all along. Kevin wasn't 2 years younger than him. He was far younger than that. Never a classmate, never a junior, never any of it. And then the last piece. Daniel's parents lived in a house on the edge of the city, out past where the gas main runs. So they used LPG canisters, and anyone who's used them knows the rhythm. When one runs low, you call. The company takes the empty and leaves a full one, and the count always stays the same. But there was one extra. Daniel noticed it by accident. "Mom, why is there an extra tank?" "Oh, the gas company must have left it." But the extra canister was from a different company, knee-high and full, and nobody knew who had put it there. His mother stood looking at it and said, "If someone had opened that while we were sleeping, who brought this into our yard?" And nobody had an answer. That's when it all landed on Daniel at once. He had been the target from the first phone call, and they had gotten that close. The industry tightened everything after that, because criminals sit around and study how to wash money, and someone looked over at the new car business and saw an opening, pour the dirty money into the dealership, then draw it back out clean to a stranger through a refund. A wash. They ran it a few times. They figured a big corporation would never notice, and they figured wrong. And the name, Kevin, or whatever he was calling himself that month, That wasn't real either. A fake name on a fake classmate over a face that wasn't in any yearbook. Everything about him had already been laundered before Daniel ever shook his hand.